and he'll do a takedown technique, and he'll take you into a prone control hold.
Wow. Can you call one of those so now you can get the
Right?
experience of a 7-year-old beating him
I've
up?
already been thrown by underage people in the judo class, which was a lot of fun, actually.
It looked like you were having a good time.
I usually do.
Yes.
I'm a glutton for stuff like that. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
You know, it is our dream to get this guy to know so much stuff
Yes.
that me and Danny become obsolete.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to fade into the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on our little horses
Horse
and
and
ride
just-
off in the sunset.
Right.
And know
That's
that-
not going to happen.
And know that it's safe with him.
Right?
Whatever happens in the future, I'm gonna have a giant painting of the both of you riding horses, staring right into the edge.
Right.
It's gonna be funny.
Into the sunset.
Yeah.
Blinded.
So let's say back, I guess it would have been what? Somewhere in the 80s.
Yes.
And you're learning through Tony,
Yes.
and you're going through all the things. Was it difficult the first year when you were training?
Oh, yeah.
Or did you, I mean, how
What
because
were the difficulties?
Kaiju Kempo has always been a very physical system.
Absolutely.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and I've taken Kempo and I've taken Shonryu and these other ones.
Yeah.
And those were okay. I mean, you know, you get your workout, you got to sweat and all that.
Right.
But I know Kaiju Kempo, even when they go through their belt testings,
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, they're very
Those are
physical. That
closed
you
door.
really gotta, closed door testings is always scary.
Yeah.
So was that first year of yours? How was that? Let's talk about that a bit.
Well, you know, the first year, I don't even think I've talked about this on other ones, but you know, my wife helped me a lot.
Cheater!
So she liked you from the get-go.
I think she kind of liked me.
Was that before the bowling?
You know what? I'm not. You know, I gotta share this with you. You know, I. Do you know the difference? I said, one of my students goes, "You're bald like that." I go, "No, my head's shaved."
That's what I say.
But you know what the difference is? When you don't have hair, you're bald.
That's right.
But if you have hair and you just kind of like
The shaved look. Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I do.
Yeah, exactly. That's
If I don't
exactly
shave,
what you
if I
do.
don't shave quick enough, I look like a chia pet. They just gotta stand up.
yes. So
a bad chia pet at that.
right. So my wife, you know, she actually helped me with the forms and stuff, you know, because she couldn't have, you know,
Yeah.
I can't have my boyfriend or
Yeah.
you know like that.
Like
you
the
know?
chick
You
is-
started dating
Yeah.
like around the time you started with them?
After,
After.
yeah, after.
You said you started what, 84? No.
No, I started probably around 80. It was 80. Wait, 84, 85. I would say it was probably end of 85 or 86.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's when you started training.
86. Yeah.
And then you started dating her and a few months after.
No,
Did she talk you into it?
it was.
Is that what this is?
No, she didn't actually.
You're with me for life, kid.
Right. Can you imagine that?
You know, we're gonna have to have her on the show.
Yeah.
She sounds
I
really.
feel like she did the whole, you're with me now.
Right.
Dragged you away from your hair. That's why he cuts it.
Yeah.
That's why he shaves
Yeah.
it.
She had nothing to go about.
Yes. But yeah, you know, it was tough, but I thrived off of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I come from a very disciplined background. So I crave that. I grooved on it.
So you enjoy it because he kind of enjoys getting beat up too. I mean,
Yeah.
he likes that.
And the problem I had was I was training with Mr. LeBlanc,
Right.
and we went from sparring, and you know, you could pull hair, you could do. He was like, go ahead and pull, you know,
Yeah.
grab a hold of my hair, you know, and watch what's gonna happen.
See what happens.
Right? You know, go ahead.
So you got curious.
If you want to, if you want to use that. So we were banging it out. So then I came to do the Kaji Kembo class, and there wasn't a lot of adult big guys,
Right.
you know. So you were like fresh meat, right? So then when we start sparring, but I sparred with the mentality of the school that I was at.
Right.
And it's Tiger Crane and Dragon, and it's very, there's no backing up. It's, you go straight
You
through.
hold your ground, yeah.
So they were like bouncing around trying to, and I wouldn't stop.
Right.
And they were like high ranking. And they were like pissed that this white belt's not backing down, you know.
See, so
And-
he sets himself up for that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, you
But
totally.
that's cool. You got to do that though.
Yeah.
When I remember when I first got into school, and I was thinking I was all that, you know. With my
Wow.
Did it go back on? Yeah. Oh,
Well,
cool.
she hit record again
Yes.
because it didn't.
Yay.
So yeah.
So you got beat up by a green belt girl,
Yeah.
and that brought your ego down.
And that I'm like, oh, do I really want to stay? Then I said, you know what? This is free classes. Forget it. I'll stay.
Yeah. So like with me, it wasn't like I was flexing.
right.
Right.
You were
Right.
just doing what you knew.
Right. You know,
And I think that's one of the, you said something really critical here, because anybody who's had any prior and they go to a new school, two things happen. Our egos get the best of us. We go in, guns blazing, thinking, oh, the stuff that I just left
got
is
this.
better than, or whatever.
yeah.
And then the school that's there that you're coming into, they're all thinking, like you said, fresh meat.
Yeah.
Oh, we could take this guy,
Yeah.
and they don't know your real background other than, oh, I used to go to this other school.
Right.
So now you have this clashing of
Egos.
our kung fu better than your kung fu.
Right. Right.
As Dennis would say.
Right. And I love it in that in one of the last interviews, or they were talking about that stuff, and what do you do, right? They were
Yeah.
talking about what do you do if a student keeps,
Yeah.
right? Shoot, man, my father, Agong would be like, man, you say something like, well, are you supposed to do that, or is that what? Come here, punch, and that was it. And everybody's like, yeah. No, not asking that question,
We had a student that was like that. They would always ask the what ifs.
What if?
Well, if you do
Yeah.
that,
What
well,
if
what
you
if I
do
do
that?
this? What if we do that? And it used to drive me nuts.
But we deal with a lot of people that come through,
Right.
military, law enforcement. I have a lot of students that law enforcement, of course, and my standard thing, and I didn't invent this, right? I'm just sharing it. Is that I explain to them, when you come to us, when you start your martial arts journey, no matter where it is, you're issued a war chest, and in that war chest, you're going to pop that thing open, and everything you learn that you think is of value, and even if it may not be at value at this time, you put it in your war chest. Then, at any time, you can come and open up that war chest and go back to it and use it if you need to. Okay? But you get issued that. So, accept what we're giving you, put it in that chest, and if you need to put it in the back corner, because it's not for you.
Got to rearrange. Yeah.
Yes.
Denny says that differently. He says, anything you've ever learned before us, leave it in the back of your head.
Keep it.
Keep it there.
Just don't bring it here.
Yeah. And then he says, then you'll find as you get along, as you go along in our system,
Yeah.
you may be able to use it using our mentality.
There you go.
And then you can bring it out. Then you can do whatever you want with that. But until that point, shut up. It's like, because it's like now you're just being rude.
Right.
Leave that stuff
Yeah.
to yourself.
Right.
And let's wait till you get enough under your belt. Then you can start making, chatter about what is and what isn't.
Absolutely.
But until then, you don't know what we're doing. Wait, find out.
Yeah.
And then we can go on with that. But Danny would always just say, like, yeah, keep that in the back of your head.
Right.
You'll,
Right.
you'll use it at some point, but let's just wait.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was lucky enough to come into these guys with no martial arts background whatsoever.
That's great, man.
None whatsoever.
Yeah,
the
clean
age
slate.
27, 28 I was. Yeah. No.
Pain in
Almost
the
7
ass.
years later. Yeah.
He was a prick.
I was.
I heard that.
I was. I'm
But
not-
look what it did for you, man.
I know. I'd be better off without these guys. No, not at all.
I'm going to have to kick his ass later on.
Right?
You got a back
Well,
room I can
hey.
use.
Absolutely, we got plenty.
I was gonna say he has to show off anyway, so you can just work your
Yeah,
frustrations
yeah.
through it.
I'll give you an extra $5 if you get him to squeal. I just like hearing it.
Yeah, followed by laughing, which is
Yeah.
so awkward. But yeah.
We got our new merchandise, right?
Oh yeah.
Collie
Oh,
Conversation
cool.
shirts.
Call
Nice.
the
And
conversation.
we
So
were
got
trying
'em.
to figure out a way to give it out to our viewers, right? We're going to do a thing where it says,
How about putting it in their hand?
Well, no, we're going to say,
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
one of our things was to count how many times he squeals and then cackles at the end of the screen.
Yeah, you put like a little box there. It says squeal factor for each episode. Is it a squeal factor?
Because
3?
every time he gets knocked around or whatever, he says,
I do. It's
But if you ever, I don't know if you've seen him at a seminar at all, but Kokoi, he would never blink. It was like you'd be lucky to see him blink when he's sparring, and laughing
the laughing
oh, yeah,
we know about.
yeah, we
The
know that.
Laughing.
He's a,
through the whole thing, laughing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Because he
having
was
a
just
good
enjoying the
time.
hell out of beating up somebody.
Absolutely.
Pretty much, yeah. He always looked like he was having fun.
absolutely.
Because he'd do,
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
like, whoa, this guy's just,
yeah. And I've seen some old videos of him,
Right.
like old, and right around when he was like 70, you could track his stick maybe. You could see it a little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah,
Oh, we
but
had
it's
50?
traces,
Oh, yeah, we're
right?
50.
we are nowhere near it.
Nowhere near ready. No, not at all. Well, that's crazy. Man, that's a lot of history to go through, though.
How many students have you come through here for?
Oh man, I had to do a job study
Right.
for the sheriff's office because I was a
What
tactical
department?
instructor.
Where the sheriff's department at? Which one?
Solano County.
Solano County.
Yeah. So I did all the tactical training for DTAC, defensive tactics, impact weapons, and then all the other tools. I've been electrified by everything in California but in that study, like
Remember that.
5 years ago, it was over 10,000.
10,000 students have gone through here.
Oh yeah.
Since you took over, or since the school
Since I
opened?
took over.
Since you took over.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, yeah.
So, clarify for me something, because since you're a tactical trainer for the sheriff's department
Yeah.
or in law enforcement, I know that when you go through the academy,
Yes.
like regular police academy before you can get to sheriff's, anyways.
Yes.
Their martial arts stuff or their combative stuff lasts maybe a couple of weeks, and then they kind of tell you go out and learn something from anywhere you can. Why is that? I mean, I've noticed that everybody goes in there, they do the basic judo chop blah blah blah, and it's like this isn't going to work anywhere. Because even Rebecca, who just recently become,
Absolutely.
she was saying, yeah, this stuff is ridiculous.
It's not as as
So-
comprehensive as it could be.
Yes. So
To put it
that's,
nicely.
that's why when people give law enforcement a hard time and like, because they think they're the most well-trained people and
Yeah.
they're not. So depends on what state you're in, and what academy, right?
Right.
So like Rebecca's academy was like 6 months.
right.
Right? And she trained, every day, not just DTAC training, not just hands-on physical skills, but all of our other stuff,
Right.
report writing, right?
Right.
Well, in corrections, if they're like working for county corrections, their academy's like a couple months,
Even worse.
and it's OJ, and they have a year in the state of California. You have a year before you have to go to an academy. So you're OJT. So if you worked at Walmart or Lowe's yesterday,
Wow.
you go to work, you put a badge, swear in, and you're OJT.
Oh,
and you could be
geez.
with someone who spit on the sidewalk to an axe murderer.
Right.
And you're like this with them 24/7. That's why my training that we do is so realistic.
Right.
Because, to save your life, right?
Yeah.
So to answer your question is and to your
Yeah.
crowd, everybody watching, is that no, they're like one of the most undertrained.
Well,
They train for hundreds of hours on doing
gun.
this.
Right.
When they put their hands on somebody, as a corrections officer, you put your hands on somebody almost every day,
Right.
putting the restraints on, taking them
Right.
off. Or if you're a street deputy or you're a regular law enforcement officer,
Yeah, beat cop.
you might not, but the odds of you having to put your hands on somebody is huge. You
Right.
very seldom will ever use.
Right, but then this is
it's the
trained more.
liability. So, same thing. So I might be an instructor all these years. So I teach, 5 to 6 days a week, 30 something years, right? Five to 6 classes a night,
Right.
So that's why. So you have that time frame, but they'll take me as a DTAC instructor, and you go through a 2-week academy to learn how to be a DTAC instructor and have no martial arts background, possibly.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yeah,
No, you're right.
we don't want you to teach this class. He's going to take it. Go ahead, you take that
Because
class.
he's already in the.
Yeah.
Because he's certified, and now he can be. They
Isn't
don't
there-
care. They
don't care.
People, and this is
Jeez.
like every age.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, no, I know everything.
right?
So,
Right?
and that's why I brought this up.
it's
because
Where can
liability.
I
Seen
apply
that.
to be an instructor?
Exactly, right?
I need a job right now.
But and that's my point, though, right? You go in there thinking,
Wow.
oh, you're going to learn how to defend yourself as a police officer,
Right,
law
right.
enforcement, and I hear the training is like, dude, it's not
But
even.
I got to tell you that one of my proudest things is being part of our sheriff's office defensive
Right.
tactics team, because we renovated our program totally. So
Right.
the baton work that is taught at the academies is more based off of Kogar Japanese method.
Right.
Our guys were doing dos patas, man. They did escrito throws, they did takedowns,
yeah.
they did locks with the
Right,
baton, and stuff, with the expandable. And, so we had like a state of the art blend between that and because I went to LAPD arrest and control school, learn ground fighting. Oh yeah, doing ground fighting.
So they have some of those available. They just don't. It isn't widespread, or
Well,
they just
it's
don't.
just
Well, that's
not
an
available through
instructor's
the
academy.
Oh,
right.
the instructors
Yeah.
academy.
Yes,
Ah,
you have to put yourself through a lot of that stuff,
Right.
and but there's some really good. There's some good stuff.
So I'll tell you a crazy story that you will probably just like, oh my God, really? We had this guy who trained with me for a couple of days, and he was a CHP guy. I won't give his names.
Okay.
He's CHP guy,
Okay.
and he liked what we were doing. He saw me with sticks. His friend that we knew very close was his partner, and he said, "Oh yeah, this guy teaches blah blah." I said, "Okay, great." And then he wanted to let me know that. He goes, "Oh yeah, I teach the baton training for the Chips guy." He goes, "Oh really?" He goes, I go, "Wow, okay. Well, what do you guys do?" "Well, we have a checklist of 10 things that you have to know to graduate." I'm like, "Really? What's that?" "How to open the retractable thing, how to close." I'm like, "Wow, that's it?" I go, "Here, come here, let me show you what I do with my sticks." And
Right.
he goes, "Holy shit, we could do all this." He goes, "Yeah, but apparently you can't teach this."
Right. Right.
I
Right.
was like, what
It's-
the hell?
It's crazy.
I mean, is that real?
Oh, real? I mean, I think two officers like got retired out because of the type of expandable that they had.
Yeah.
You have to take it, and we didn't realize, we researched it, that there's like a gazillion lawsuits because this brand, which will be nameless, is you have to take it and you smack it on the ground,
Right,
and
to-
then you got to go boom on the
Close
ground.
it. Yeah,
right,
Yeah, I know.
Well, that tip it's screwed in. It's like people went to open it and the tip
It pop
flew
out.
out
Right.
and stuck someone in the eye. And yeah, but I know of
I
like
have